So let's start this amazing game off. We have purple yellow Cherubimon versus green hybrid. It's a nasty little deck that we have to play against anyway. So in this format, they're both kind of in the same power level scale, I gotta say. So let's see what his deck can do and what my deck can do, and I'm really excited to show it off. Purple Cherubimon is just a very powerhouse Digimon deck because it has retaliation, so he can't swing into my Digimon naturally, but we also have ways of reflooding the board, recovering a bunch of stuff. So while green likes to swing in and just trash our security for free as they kill our Digimon, we're just going to hope for the best here, and we're just going to take him out. He will be going second, and I'll be going first because of the die rolls. So let's see what he can do and what I can do. He got a 7 and I got an 11, so that means I'm going first. And I stacked this up incorrectly. I should have did it reverse, but it's a long day of work and everything like that, so I messed up out there. So let's see what I can hopefully pull off with this stunt. So 5 security. I will swap the board around afterwards. Sorry about that. I just got carried away with the whole thing. So let's see what his deck has up his sleeve. We are playing with Mulligan. My hand is decent enough. It's got a Kari. It's got a few pieces that will help us out in the long game. So let's hope. I flip up Upas, and then I'm like, Digivolve into Bushi to draw me a card. And then I play down Kari, giving him 3. Kari is a really interesting card in this format because anytime our security is trashed, instantly gain 1 memory, and it gets around any memory blockers that we might come across. He flips up the Koromon, digivolves into Betamon, and that's a lot of play that I gave him. He digivolves into Betamon, no effects, because he is in the raising area. That is one good thing. He's not going to dig a little deeper, but he could definitely punish us in the long game. So I'm very nervous about to see what he's going to do here. So he can do a lot to me if he plans this accordingly. So I will be going to 3 because he just played down Izzy and Mimi. That's going to help him out a lot, especially if I don't kill off my Digimon die in security. He's going to gain extra memory. And I'm just going to swap this around. I am not happy with how this is laid out. There we go. There we go. I'm going to promote the BushiAgumon up. We're going to swing. No added effects, but at least he got us a swing in there for 3k. So hopefully he dies. Nope, JP is on board. Oof. Now I can choke him out to going to possibly 1 going to 3, which wouldn't be terrible, but he's going to just come and whack me very hard. We go for the goodest of boys, Koichi. And then I'm going to discard Dead or Alive, and that's going to help us out. And then Digivolve into Loweemon, giving him 2, and he'll go to 4 because of his Izzy and Mimi. I really don't like that card, but Kanochi. Oh, it's Kanochi. Sorry, it's not Koji. That's the blue brother. Twins and all. You gotta love that. He's gonna Digivolve on top of his JP for 1. So he's at 3. That's not terrible. He's gonna rest our Lowie. Wish I could have climbed up a little bit more, but hey. We're just gonna be walking into a lot of blue stun ability because they can rest everything on board state. I'm really nervous what he's gonna do here. He's going to Digivolve into Hercules Mega Kabuterimon. This one's a very interesting choice. This one lets you do some crazy shenanigans. So he reveals a Thunder Laser, which is just going to go on the top of the deck just to help alleviate some of the damage he's going to impose by me. And no added other ability. This one swings in, dies, has the ability to warp into a ancient Kabuterimon for cost. So, and I'll gain 1 memory here. It is Bushi, and then another trashed, and that's my Angel, my Lucemon. Sadly, that's just how that rolls. So I'll go to 6, which is a good climb up here. That's not bad. I'm going to hatch, unsuspend. I'm going to play Analog Youth, go to 4, 1, 2, 3. I got to take the Salamon to dig a little deeper. The rest can be trashed. I'm going to Digi into Sala to draw. And then I'm debating on my hand. It's a little struggling here. This game is definitely his. I have a feeling I just cannot get out of it. Well, that's kind of what happens in certain matchups. It's just if they can get their stuff a lot easier than you, you're kind of in a bad spot. So I'm debating on what to do here. It's not too hard to figure out, but I'm like, I don't want to give him too much memory, and I'm trying to see if I can climb up to Cherubimon very easily so that the next follow-up turn I can just build a wide board, get a bunch of recovery in, and hopefully survive my inevitable death. So it's one of those tough calls. I'm not at 10 yet, which upsets me a little bit because I don't have much outs here. I wish I was at 10. I needed a little bit more to just kill off some of these threats. But the only thing I really had in my hand to play was the Lucemon. Lucemon is just going to give him a bunch of memory. We're going to pop the Ancient because that needs to die. And if we're lucky enough, we can survive the turn. But I already know we're going to be struggling hard to get a comeback here. Flips up Pinamon. So he's going to Digivolve into Terrier in Raising. Now he can go climb up to his other forms if he needs to be. So it costs him 3 because he doesn't have a Tamer underneath that, but that's still really annoying. Thunder Laser just to rest my Digimon. And then he can go into any big boy he wants. It's a Mimi. Cool. He'll leave that there. Ancient for 3. Pops my Lucemon. You get a Mat. So that gets trashed by the effect. We gain 1 memory. He's going to go to 2. Arbomon swings. We get a 6k, killing off the Arbomon. So I can definitely get some recovery coming back from this, but I don't know if I can get the win out of this. And then Boko, bring me to 1, and that's where I get choked hard. So he's got 2 Mimis going, so I think he's going to grab the JP and the Rhino. So that's not a bad grab there, but I got... I need to recover a bunch here. I don't know if I can recover enough to actually seal game. I swing in Salamon. I draw a card because of Upamon's skill. And then Beto. And recovery 1. Sadly, I just don't have a way of surviving this turn completely out. Right? I can try to choke him, but it's just not going to work. My hand's not the best, as I said before. Just wish I had a better hand. We'll play Matt down, give him 1. We choke him to 1. And if we have anything that could just possibly kill off any of his Digimon that he's trying to swing him with, we'd be pretty solid. So he's going to promote up. So I'm hoping to kill the Boko with an effect. But he's going right into the evolution and just instantly just sealing the game just in case. So that's just how that's going to roll. I have no outs here. 4 attacks, 2 security. I don't, unless we have like removal, we're not going to see nothing. Death Claw, that would have been nice. We're going to pop. Pop the Beetlemon, just the only option, and then we'll bring him down to 0 for Kari. We got a Boko myself. Sadly, this couldn't have been like Kari into, you know, into that purple option. Would have been really nice, and we would have passed turn and possibly had another turn of survival. But that's just how that rolled. So that was game 1. We're going to go to game 2 shortly. Game 2. Let's see if we can actually get a win out of this and we don't brick as bad as that was. I was really nervous on the opening hand prior. It's just, you never know what you're going to get out of it. So I'm hoping for the best here. Let's see what he can do and what I'm going to be able to do. So there are just some good plays we can do. Excuse the little one. The little one decided to surprise us with a visit. He flips up Pinamon, Digivolves into Tentomon, and then he's going to play Mimi down to give us 4, which is really good for us because now we can set ourselves up. We flip Upa, and it's like, Lucemon is good in our hand, but at the same time, a terrible fit because you can't Digivolve on top of that Upa to get yourself draw value. We're going to play Matt down, even though we're going to whiff for it. That's fine. We're just going to gain at least 3 memory a turn, and then we'll give him 3 with another Matt Ishida from the trial deck. This card is if our Digimon is deleted in any way, shape, or form, gain 1 memory. It's a very nasty little card. He slams down Boko, trying to dig a little deeper. Grabs the ancient Kabuterimon, which is not a bad grab. And that will bring me to 3 because he's going to play down JP. So my hand's not looking the best, but at least we can try something here. We're going to go into the Leomon. So that's not bad. KaiserLeomon's not a bad deal. We don't get the retaliation, sadly, but we can at least go into Rhihimon that is in my hand. This will at least Digivolve for 1 if I decide to afterwards, but we're going to see what Kaiser can do. We're going to go 6k into that security stack. Tentomon, it survives, which is very important for us. So I'm like, do we just go up, 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 up? So we're going to Digivolve into another Leomon, actually, because this time I can get the retaliation. So if he decides to start swinging into it, he's going to lose out on his big Digimon. So then I'm just going to pass turn. I don't have anything else at the moment. So at least we have retaliation going. He's got Tentomon. He's going to swing in with the Tentomon. Pinamon's skill is he draws a card because he's swinging into the Kaiser to die. And that's just to help him dig a little deeper. Then he's going to play Mimi and Izzy down. So that's going to help him gain extra memory if we start swinging in too much, which is fine. We can just build up a board state anyway. We're going to play Koichi down. This one lets us draw a card and discard a card. So we're going to discard Lucemon and set him up for later. And that's going to help us out massively, especially if we get a dead or alive in security. Boom, that thing comes out for free. So we're going to swing in with KaiserLeo yet again, 6k. Hopefully it dies. So it is a 5k, so it survives, and we're going to give him extra memory this coming turn, which I really don't want to. So I'm like, I got to make this a little more difficult for him to kill me off. But he's going to get 5. So we're going to go Death Claw. We're going to just guarantee him 3. We're going to kill the Boko, go to 3. which is a smart play because if he had Boko any longer, we were going to see some major issues, especially when going into JP. It's just gain memory. He goes to 1 with the Metal Kabuterimon, and then Hercules Kabuterimon, and then plays down a JP to bring me to 3. Now we can definitely climb up a bit here. My hand's actually surprisingly good. We're just trying to dig for yellow rookies. We haven't really seen any, but 3 memory a turn really does help out. We just need to not give him 5. So we're going to go into Koichi, into Loweemon, sorry. Then we're going to go into the Rhihimon that I've been saving in my hand for a bit. For 1 cost. Go to 0, draw. And then Digivolve into the Salamon. I finally drew. I draw a Rhihimon. But I'm like, I need to set up something here. Either I'm going to swing in and hope for the best, because even at worst, I can just Digivolve into Cherubimon. And if he kills it, it'll gain me 1 memory and we won't have to worry too much. But I go for the Kari play just to help memory choke him. So that is kind of like the game plan here, is the Kari is just to help lock down my opponent from going a little too wide or crazy. So we're hoping for the best, and I'm really excited. So he used Thunder Laser to rest my Rhihimon. Well, at least with his on deletion effect, we're going to gain some value out of this. So Ancient, he'll bring us to 3. Pop. We gain 2 memory, basically. We're going to go to 3 anyway. So that gets trashed. And I'm going to do Rhihimon's effect first before I forget about that. He has an on deletion effect that lets you add a card to your and play a tamer to the board, actually. So we get Koichi back and we draw, and we have to discard 1 card. So we're going to discard the yellow Lucemon just in case, just to help fill up Cherubi, trash 1, and then BushiAgumon. There we go. And then we're going to go Kari and Koichi. It doesn't really matter. Even if we missed out on Koichi, Matt was going to bring us to 3 anyway. Yes, I know Koichi wasn't in the graveyard anymore, so he wouldn't have naturally activated. But since Matt was going to bring us to 3, that's all that matters. So Salamon will hopefully gain us a memory. Well, gain us a draw plus a recovery 1. That's going to help out a lot if it dies here, which we're hoping for. Swing 1, draw for Upa, 2k into that beautiful security stack. And it dies. Yay, Sala, you did your job. Recovery 1, we're at 4. He's only got 2 security left. And now I can definitely climb up if I choose to. So I'm going to climb up. I'm going to go into KaiserLeomon, going to 1. Since we Digivolve on Koichi himself, he has retaliation. So he can't really just swing into this willy-nilly without losing out on resources. Then we're going to just go into the Rhihimon that's in my hand. So we can go in for 1. Raihi for 1, 0, draw. And then I'm going to set up something really nasty. Since he's not going to gain extra memory here, we're just going to give him the 4 probably for the Cherubi in my hand, so that once my Cherubimon dies the next following turn, we can just go crazy ham. So that's kind of my goal here, is just to go crazy. So we get Cherubimon, we draw. There is no targets to pop, but his effect lets me add a tamer onto the board. So we're going to check that out in a minute. So since we can't pop anything, but adding that adder tamer will help us build up a wide board the following turn. So that's how I like it. Ancient's not going to do crazy much here, but he doesn't have much else to do. If he kills off the Cherubimon, we're going to get a full board. And if my Cherubimon dies, we just have enough for Hybrid Central. So we have a win-win situation here. I think I got solid game state. He doesn't have much options here. Digivolves into JP to Metal Kabu for 1. Digivolves into Hercules, go to 2. Digivolves into Beta. He can definitely promote those boards up, but I don't think he can get the win here because he can't trash anything. So he's going to try to get off the top 3 something really good. Sadly, it whiffs, which we are happy about. We get a Kari, which is nice. We're going to rest the 1 Kari, go to 1. So he swings again. We're going to take him out to 0, which is going to help us out a lot. And he's just going to go for the pass turn. There's not much else he can do in this matchup. We're going to hatch. We got an Upa. Cherubi swings in for 12k. I can pop the Cherubimon afterwards, which is going to really help us out. So it's a 2k. We're just going to possibly go for the pop, which is going to help out. We're going to go Deathclaw, even though Cherubimon is going to be lost to us. We're going to gain that 1 memory back from the Koichi. And then, because we sack something, we'll rest the mat from the trial deck to gain another memory. So we're at 4. So for the costs of 1, we gained 1 memory, which is not bad. So we're going to play Sala because we have 4. We get a Bushi. Get a Lucy. That's all we have for targets, sadly. We're going to swing in with the Bushi for Rush, which is really good for us. Hatch. Well, 3k, he stays on board, and we do have a hybrid for the game in my hand. So we're just going to Digivolve on top of Matt for the Leomon and swing in for 5k. And game, boys and girls. How did you think about game 2? Let's hope for the best for game 3. All important game 3. Let's see if we got this, boys and girls. I'm really nervous because this has been pretty close or one-sided in certain times, depending on what your hand is like. And that's what makes me really nervous. Especially splashing in the Lucemon is not a bad idea, but I'm on the fence here. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I think I might take Lucemon out of the main deck. I think he's great for the side, but I might get better results with other Digimon, especially in this matchup, like a Rebellion or something like that. Might work a little bit better than the Lucemon, since Lucemon can't really do anything after a certain point. So it's like, he's okay-ish. So I play down Koichi down, giving him 3, and then I'm going to toss my Lucemon Chaos Mode, setting up the similar game plan as we did before. Probably should have just went for the mat play at that point, but Tentomon, he's got a Beetlemon, go to 1, and then he's got Hercules set up for 2. Draw. I think misplaying wise, I should have just played the mat down and just gained a bunch of memory every turn because we needed the 3. But I went with Kaiser to hopefully give retaliation, so if he tried to swing into it, we wouldn't be too terrible off. And then I'm going to go into Rhihimon for 1, draw. I think that was the major misplay in this game. I didn't play down my mat, which I should have done this turn. Even though he would have built up his Ancient, I would have had at least enough time to take care of him. So he swings in. So Tentomon reduces the cost by 1 for the next Ancient evolution. So this will bring me to 1 by effect. So trash, we get Loweemon in the trash, which is not bad. Draw. I need to get that mat in the trash. We Digivolve into Bushi in the background. Ugh. It's like the big misplay, I think, was just not having the mat, which I had in my hand, which... So we're going to swing in with Rhihimon for 7. So if it dies, we'll gain a memory. We'll go to 2. It's a Beto. Play now another Koichi because I'm just trying to choke him out. But I know that was the misplay of my game, was the mat, not playing it early enough. We're going to trash the BushiAgumon just to keep setting stuff up. And it's not terrible. He's just going to keep ramsacking my Digimon. We get the Koromon into a Tentomon. Bushi's there with the Nupa. Swing into that. We gain 1 memory. He goes to 1. Yeah, the mat would have been the better play. Skill, add Koichi back because of the on deletion. And I did the order operations correct this time. But yeah, the better play would have been play the mat, have the gain 3 memory. I got rid of the Schwarz Swarmer, trashed that. Wish I got the Analog Youth. That would have helped out a little bit more. He's just going to tear my security apart. Digivolve into Beetlemon, give me 1. Draw. Promote Bushi, swing in, draw a card for Upamon's effect. And Betomon, Bushi survives. Fun, he's got another target to swing into. Ah! Oh no. Oh no. I'm gonna just Bokomon for 2. Reveal top. I'm gonna grab the Rhihimon and the Kari. Promote up. See, if I didn't also toss the Schwarz Swarmer thing, I would have been actually pretty fine in this matchup too, because I would have just cleared out his ultimates and stuff like that, but I trashed it early on. I think that was the bad call there too, because I could have gotten rid of the Ancient after a bit. So effect, trash a card. There's another Koichi. Yep. Swing. No trash though, because it's once per turn, luckily. So, sad face. I see all my misplays, and batteries come to charge up the field. Upamon, we're gonna maybe digivolve this if I remember correctly. We had, I think, no more rookies on board state. Promote the Koichi up. We're gonna go into the KaiserLeomon in my hand. Zero draw. But yeah, that the right play would have just removed the Ancient Beetle off board. And if I had the 5 cost, but he still had JP on board. So on deletion, kill that out, give him 1. He can play a hybrid on board state, which he's going to play Beetlemon down, which is fine. But that 3 not memory a turn is really killing. So we give him Kari for 2, which really doesn't mean anything in this situation because he's just going to climb up. Hatch the Koromon. And then he's going to swing in for 6. Leave on top. Ooh, we get Dead or Alive. So at this point, we grab Lucemon Chaos Mode out of the trash. And then we get to pop something. Which at this point, if I pop the Beetlemon, he'll get that. He'll get something worthwhile. Or if I pop the JP, it might be just better in our favor. Go to 1 for the Kari. Lucemon pops the JP. I didn't want him to get another Digimon on board. I could possibly kill off most of this stuff. So Digivolves into Terriermon, so we're kind of screwed. Deathclaw. I wish that was in the reverse order, then this would have been probably okay-ish. But at least we got rid of one of his Digimon. Yeah, I should have just killed the Beetle, but it still would Digivolve for 1. So it's like hit or miss in that situation. He was still going to get a full board of stuff I don't want him to have. Plays JP down. I go to 2. I draw. I really don't have any mass recovery at the moment. I have 10 in the grave, which isn't terrible. We can swing in, but we're going to have to get rid of the Beetlemon and all the other nasty stuff. Just really nasty that JP recover pretty much makes it 1 cost evolve on his first evolution. That makes it really difficult to deal with. My only hope right now is that if I recover and I get into a Dead or Alive again, I can get another shot at recovery. That's really all I can do. But Lucemon's actually a pretty good out in certain situations. Just wish I had a blocker in certain circumstances. Because in this matchup, a blocker with retaliation is more nastier than a non-blocker. So we're going to give him 3 because we hit 10. We'll recover 1. Hopefully for a Dead or Alive here. Promotes the Terriermon up, and we got nothing here. We got a Cherubi. And then he's got the hybrid requirement. Yep. And that's game 3. What do you think of these matchups? Were they a lot of fun? I know that I probably did a lot of misplays with purple, but it just comes with the high ceiling of the deck. And I promise you I will get better with the deck. Just give me time. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!